the end of the day, elephant in the room is you're a black woman in a mixed marriage. So obviously you have different beliefs on this.
If we don't, listen, I'm never going to obviously adopt your beliefs on it. I just think it's patently wrong.
But do you understand why I would want to have grandchildren that are white?
I don't have an issue with you saying you want your kids to look like you.
But do you understand why I would?
I don't. Listen to how Candace navigates this conversation. God, it reminds me of Norm Finkelstein a little bit. It must be intentional. I'm guessing it has to be intentional because I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think Candace is probably decently above average intelligence. Like, she's a smart person, so she can't be this stupid. So I think it's a show. But so what is the question Nick asks is, do you understand why I would want to have kids that look like me, right? Personally, I don't give a fuck, and I think it's cringe. But like, I can understand that, and I can articulate that, right? People feel like they have a connection to their family members, both past and future. They want them to look similar. It's nice to look at a picture and go, oh my God, that's my dad, or you look just like my granddad. And especially people that think race is such an important feature of a person probably want to feel like they have more in common with their ancestors and then with their future progeny, your children, right? So even if I disagree with it, I understand it.
You want to have grandchildren that are white?
I don't have an issue with you saying you want your kids to look like you.
But do you understand why I would believe that or feel that way?
No, but...
So she says initially, like, she's like, I'm not offended, or you can say that or something.
I think it's patently wrong.
Says, hold on.
But do you understand why I would want to have grandchildren that are white?
I don't have an issue with you saying...
He said, I don't have an issue with it. That's not what he's asking, though, right? Do you not understand English? Or what? Why? That's not the response. That's not even responsive to what he's saying.
Want your kids to
but
look
do you
like
understand why I would believe that or feel that way?
No, because I'm not white.
Like, imagine, like, I'm 5'8", and imagine I say, oh, I hope that my son is the same height as me. I hope he's 5'8" as well. And Candace is like, oh, I don't know about that at all. It's like, you can't sympathize at all with that or empathize at all then? She's like, no, I'm not 5'8". Like, what? What is that response?
I don't understand.
What about your grandchildren being black for that matter then?
Well, I'm mixed race, so that I just feel like they...
Like, bruh. Wait, where is it?
Bruh.
Each kid comes out looking different. It's kind of incredible. So I think that when you actually have children, you realize, like, it's incredible how, like, my daughter is a little bit darker, but she looks like my husband. And then, like, my son's whiter, but he looks just like me. And I think that's kind of one of the exciting parts of being in a mixed race relationship. I'm always like, oh, I wonder what this kid's going to come out looking like. If you're saying that generations down, like 3 generations down, it'd be possible that you could just have all black kids or something, would that bother you? You'll probably be dead. That happens, you'll probably be dead.
I'm alive now. And
now I haven't heard Candace Owens' other arguments. I can't recall any with specificity because I can only watch Candace Owens for so much time, like per year, without like actual radioactive destruction of my body because she's so disgusting. But like, that's a very materialist, atheist, borderline hedonistic, living in the moment kind of argument of why would I give a fuck about what my future generations look like? I'm gonna be dead. It doesn't make a difference to me. That's some shit I would say. That's very surprising to hear from her. Maybe she always has had that position. I would be surprised if she did, but I haven't heard enough of the other shit to know.
That happens, you'll probably be dead.
I'm alive now, and I
no.
don't
But
love
I'm
the
saying
idea.
is that, like, by the time you could breed it out, so to speak, you'd be dead. So I'm just answering your question. Like, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
No, obviously not.
I'm saying, but do you understand why I would feel that way?
If I understood it, I wouldn't be in a mixed race relationship. I don't.
Like, how stupid. So, like, it's literally the quote. It's so, and this is supposed to be a meme quote. Like, everyone should obviously know this. I don't know who said it. I don't give a fuck if it was Aristotle or not. But it is the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it. Right? You should be able to understand why somebody thinks something without necessarily agreeing with it or embracing the view as your own. What is this like? Well, since I don't do it, I can't possibly understand it.
If I understood it, I wouldn't be in a mixed race relationship. I don't understand it.
But you have
I
no
accept
empathy
it.
then for, like,
no,
you can't step outside of your situation.
I mean, no, I'm not. I don't need to have. How would I have empathy for it? I mean, I don't feel that way.
Okay.
So it's just something that we disagree on.
Well,
Nick was technically, he's looking for the word sympathy, not empathy, but it doesn't matter. She should know what he means. But this is just such a stupid conversation. Like, you can't consider, like, why are you talking to this person at all? Like, every single thing he says is going to come from the perspective of a white man that you're never going to be able to understand or relate to because you're not a white man. Like,
I'm saying that because I actually can understand the appeal of a mixed race relationship. I get it. I mean, I find other races attractive also. And, if I was in love with a person from another race, I would probably want to build a life with them also. But my values are not just who I'm in love with and things like that. It's also my heritage, my identity, my race. And, I like the idea. It is important to me. My parents look a certain way. Their parents look a certain way. We come from a certain place. I like the unbroken chain. And I want my grandchildren and great-grandchildren to have a similar complexion. I want them to have similar hair. Because these kinds of things, they echo. We're all connected, not just in time horizontally, but vertically across the generations. And so the idea that, 2 or 3 generations down the line, one of my children bears no resemblance to me at all, it's almost as if we're not related. It's almost as if I never existed. And there's something very disturbing to me about that. And I can understand why people are okay with that, because people have various feelings about race. They say, I don't care about my race or whatever, but I do.
Okay, I don't know. I hate Candace. I can't watch her at all. Jesus. Okay, what is this?
Protesters and a tense standoff. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. Thanks for being with us. I'm Marla Tejas.
I'm Christine Devine. New tonight, federal agents clash with protesters during an ICE raid at a Ventura County cannabis farm.
The operation at Glass House Farms near Camarillo today turned chaotic. Fox 11's Ed Lascos live there with the very latest tonight. Ed, has it quieted down at all?
Yeah. Well, let's give you a look real quick, Marla, with Frank, give you an idea. This is Laguna Road here. It's the cross off Las Posas. This is a motorcade of some of the workers from Glass House Farms leaving, trying to talk to some of them. They were saying they were told by a lot of the folks inside not to say anything. These are the folks, obviously, who haven't been detained by the federal agents as part of this latest immigration raid. And the crowd offering support here, clapping to a lot of the folks going by. But all of this, it's been playing out hour by hour, a tense situation targeting this legalized, and I say it's legalized there in California, a marijuana growing facility, a large sprawling complex here in the heart of Ventura County's farming district. In any event, tensions rising here. Look at some of this standoff from earlier. Watch. Yeah, very tense situation here as the federal agents moved in around noontime, and then the protesters moved in to not let it be so easy as it all went down, yelling at them, trying to make it difficult, trying to block some of the military vehicles going through. Federal agents responding with gas, apparent tear gas. Also, some of the protesters saying they were hit with some paintballs, rubber bullets going through. For their part, some of the video also showed some of the agents also ducking some water bottles and rocks being thrown at them by the protesters. So a very tense situation here as Glass House Farms, the target of this immigration raid, as a federal warrant had the agents move in here to not target the farm because of the marijuana situation. Again, legal in California, but targeting them, alleging they are housing illegal aliens. That brought the confrontation, and that brought a lot of relatives here from workers inside.
I wanted to ask, how can't you believe in child trafficking when government contractors like DynCorp stayed a contractor and got bought out? I don't know. I missed that episode of Alex Jones.
Worried about what's been happening. Listen to their response.
There are hundreds of people who work at this glass house facility. From what I last heard is that maybe somewhere around like 40 or 50. I did see vans, white vans, exit this morning, and we have seen multiple ICE vans leaving through multiple dirt roads that can be carrying up to more than 50 people at this point. We're all illegals. If they come for one of us, they come for all of us. And this is, you think about the U.S. stole the land from Mexico. Why do people come here from all over the world? Because the U.S. messed up their country more than it has done here. These are human beings. Trump and the regime are going after people with no due process, without the rule of law. They're just kidnapping people, and now they're sending them to foreign countries and concentration camps like Alligator Alcatraz.
And just some of the reaction that's playing out here as this standoff goes on. From Skyfox, we had a view of, looked like dozens of the workers from inside this farm that were being detained, evidently lined up one by one, waiting to be moved out, processed. We also have a lot of first responders from Ventura County here, making sure no one gets hurt. There's been some shoving. There was actually an incident earlier where we come back out live. One of the folks in the area came by. It was a man, and he was supporting ICE, and he was met with the crowd to kind of rough them up basically, and he ran off. Had no choice. But tension's very high here as this group leaves. Again, some of the workers from the farm inside, the ones obviously not being detained, being let go now, let out finally after a.
Oh, there it is.
Do not panic, do not run! Do not run! Stay calm!
Baby girl grows micro penis after absorbing testosterone from laying on her father's chest. Oh shit, that's a House episode.
Take a look at this video right here. It appears a protester fired some kind of gun at federal agents. This happened this afternoon. It was a really chaotic scene at the time. A lot of smoke was being launched at the protesters. And again, it appears a protester fired back with that weapon. It looks like he fired at least a couple of times. We have not heard about any agents being hurt.
Do you think it was an airsoft gun or? feel like if it was a gun, we'd hear there'd be other video or gunshots or something. Is there other video of this?
To vehemently protest what's going on here, and just in the last few minutes, Customs and Border Patrol helicopter has entered the scene here. They are landing in the middle of the farm as we speak. It does appear that they were not planning to be here as long as they have been.
The next den that comes in should just executive order away as many guns as they can, and then go raid states that have disagreements and opinions about it.
Here as long as they have been. And so this helicopter that you're looking at here, guys, apparently just made a run over to Van Nuys Airport for some cases of water.
We're looking at helicopters right now. The government's coming to take my weed.
Cases of water, which is what they're bringing into the scene here. So there are a whole team of ICE agents at the farm. There are other agents down there as well as the National Guard police standing guard and protecting Laguna Road as this enforcement action takes place right here, going into hour number 4 this afternoon. Again, a major situation transpiring here.
Oh yeah, this should be like Joe Rogan's nightmare, right? The weed, not the weed.
Former Speaker of the House, K-Mac, is here. All right, let's just go back to the top. So the Secret Service almost got Trump killed. And no one gets fired. And some people, the top people, got promoted. What's that about?
That's unacceptable. You cannot have that behavior continue. Otherwise, it will unless you do something about it. They should all be removed, and you should make an example out of them. So the future...
Who should be removed? Wait.
Former Speaker of the House, K-Mac, is here. All right, let's just go back to the top. So the Secret Service almost got Trump killed. And
all the Secret Service people? Or?
And no one gets fired. And some people, the top people, got promoted. What's that about?
That's unacceptable. You cannot have that behavior continue. Otherwise, it will unless you do something about it. They should all be removed, and you should make an example out of them. So the future Secret Service knows this can never happen again. You cannot see a person on the roof. You can't run into the individual and think this can continue forward.
But why would they promote the guys that did the security of the Butler Field? That tells me that those guys know something or did something, or they're being taken care of now. Just shut up and we'll give you a raise.
I don't know the fact. Like, if you surveyed the field, you'd survey the field. But if you were there and you noticed that individual on the roof and you did nothing, no excuses. You're gone.
All right, well, they're not gone. They got unpaid leave for 4 weeks, so something is not right.
Unpaid leave? They got a vacation during winter. These people work hard at it, you know. And it really goes to the point, who was training them? Who was supervising them that they failed to do the job they were told to do or trained to do, or were not trained to do it itself? You'd have to evaluate the entire service, because that same behavior could be happening on the trail with somebody else.
Yeah,
so you've got to correct it.
Trained them, and she just wanted all women working for them, and we know how that turned out. Ryan Ruth had help. He had 2 people that sold him the rifle and then deleted their text.
Why would you delete a text when you sell a rifle for cash? You think something's going to happen?
Now, you are a California kid, and you know a little bit about Ventura County. We're looking live.
Somebody else.
Yeah, Cheadle.
So you've got to correct it.
Trained them, and she just wanted all women working.
That same behavior could be happening on the trail with somebody else.
Yeah, Cheadle.
So you've got to correct it.
Trained them, and she just wanted all women working for them, and we know how that turned out. Ryan Ruth had help. He had 2 people that sold him the rifle and then deleted their text.
Why would you delete a text when you sell a rifle for cash? You think something's going to happen?
Now, you are a California kid, and you know a little bit about Ventura County. We're looking live at pictures right now. There's a big standoff because the feds raided a cannabis farm, and all of a sudden a bunch of defenders came in and encircled the feds. It looks like a Mexican standoff at a cannabis farm, and if anything catches fire, it's going to be one happy standoff.
That's true. Now, I know a lot of people probably report these are people protesting ICE. That could be, but it could be a lot of people just loving cannabis.
Save the farm! Yeah, that's right. Don't touch that farm.
I mean, you may see Cheech and Chong out there. I know this could be up in smoke.
So you've seen an escalation of people protesting ICE. You know, first it was, I'll film you. Then it was riots. Now they're going to the actual raid sites and trying to obstruct the apprehension. Yeah. This can't lead to a good place.
No, you have to respect the rule of law, but it's also being encouraged by the other side of the aisle. They literally said we need violence against it. They are saying that. I think even Hakeem got asked the question the other day, he would not denounce it. If your leadership will not denounce this type of activity where individuals are being shot when they're upholding the law, that has got to stop.
So
you are responsible too.
We call Hakeem Hips Don't Lie Hakeem because he photoshopped himself.
Did you see that?
Have you ever photoshopped yourself?
No.
Okay.
I may cut the picture so I don't show the full belly, but I don't Photoshop myself.
You know Hakeem. Is he the kind of guy, his little vein?
Yeah, he can't make a decision. The real leader.
Okay. Migrants deported from U.S. to Salvadoran prison remain under U.S. control, Salvadoran officials tell UN. The administration in March agreed to pay $6 million for El Salvador to house 300 migrants. Jesus. Dear Counsel, the court takes judicial notice of a report on enforced or involuntary disappearances from the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights Working Group on enforced or involuntary disappearances, which was filed by the petitioners, plaintiffs, and JGG v. Trump. In the UN report, the government of El Salvador responded to the UN's inquiry opened by 4 families asking about the disappearance of their family members, each of whom are Venezuelan nationals allegedly deported from the United States to El Salvador as part of the mass deportations that have taken place since March 15, 2025. In its response to the UN, the government of El Salvador states, the actions of the states of El Salvador have been limited to the implementation of a bilateral cooperation mechanism with another state through which it has facilitated the use of the Salvadoran prison infrastructure for the custody of persons detained within the scope of the justice system and law enforcement of that other state. In status reports submitted pursuant to this court's June 5th, 2025 order, defendants have repeatedly skirted this court's directive to provide information regarding the steps they have taken and will take to facilitate the return of Christian to the United States. Instead, defendants have repeatedly made oblique references to their request of assistance from the U.S. Department of State, which has entered into negotiations to facilitate Christian's return and assume responsibility on behalf of the U.S. government for diplomatic discussion. Assuming the government of El Salvador provided truthful information to the UN, no diplomatic discussion should be required here because El Salvador has no sovereign interest in Christians' continued confinement in that country. This court directs defendants to explain their position that diplomatic discussions involving the DOS are required to facilitate Christian's return. Damn. Well, will anything happen? Or will nothing happen?
We came here on our statutory authority to be able to visit this detention center. We were denied access citing safety reasons. We asked then, and we've actually, so for the record, we've been waiting for about 2 hours to get in. According to the statute, it's a shall, not a may. We're able to come unannounced without providing notice. They said we didn't give notice. There was a press release that went out at 11:30 that we were coming here. The GOP welcomed us, so they knew we were coming. It is interesting that it is called unsafe when just hours ago that the President of the United States and Republican lawmakers were allowed to have access to this facility. It is also concerning that there are human beings, detainees in here, that if it's unsafe for us to be in here, how is it safe for them to be present? This could not and should not be happening. And I believe, and I think we all can agree, that what's happening, and there's more than likely any.
Yes, mid-rolls.
Get official anime art.
It's just like it's a giant tent with fences and beds. I don't understand. And they have a sign for this? Oh my God.
Taylor Lorenz is going after a Twitter user and tagging the person's workplace. Taylor Lorenz's birthday should be listed on her Wikipedia. I think that Wikipedia has no credibility until this happens. I cannot believe that somebody can just say, I don't even want my... Oh, they're fighting over it again. Born in 1984 or 1985. It should be at least month day, if not month day year. This is unacceptable. If you're famous enough to have a Wikipedia article, then your birthday should be listed here. If you don't want it listed here because of harassment or whatever the fuck else, then don't be a journalist or don't have a page at all or something. If you notice Destiny, but Dan, H3 Dan, noticed the H thing himself on their show and also made a big deal out of it for a few minutes. Oh, good. This girl had her friend texting to say I should be nice because she's not a hateful person, and now she's saying I should be killed for standing up for marginalized people. If you want disabled people exterminated for speaking out against RFK and the death of public health, you're a fascist. Is Taylor Lorenz disabled? Good one. Get the retarded jokes out there. Can someone just cough on Taylor Lorenz already and put us all out of our misery? Okay, based, kind of. Taylor Lorenz is like, is she in favor of like mandatory masking still, or she claims she has long COVID? Oh God. I think long COVID is probably just the, that chronic fatigue syndrome. I say just, but if you have that shit, that seems like actual fucking hell on earth. I've never seen any indication that Taylor Lorenz actually has that though. There are a couple syndromes where the collection of symptoms are just, they're vague enough that like anybody could claim to have them. But yeah, apparently that science girl was like bedridden for 2 years with it. I guess some people after like viral infections just have, it's just super random, but you get like this thing called chronic fatigue syndrome. Nobody knows like why it happens, but sometimes you can sleep for like 16 hours a day and it just sucks to move or literally do anything. It's just, yeah. She's getting a lot better right now, I think. Yeah, I've heard that. But still, wasn't she like a CFS or chronic fatigue syndrome for like 2 years? Interesting clip from the Candace and Nick interview. 2 hours and 12 minutes.
A lot.
Good one. Oh, you just wanted to post the whole interview. Is this specifically from COVID? No. Although I think long COVID, I'm saying this very with a weak confidence, but I think long COVID is probably just like chronic fatigue syndrome. And it feels like chronic fatigue syndrome is just after viral infections for some reason. People just get this. It's a disabling chronic illness. People with ME/CFS experience profound fatigue that does not go away with rest, as well as sleep issues and problems with memory and concentration. The hallmark symptom is post-exertional malaise, a worsening of the illness, which can start immediately or hours to days after even minor physical or mental activity. This crash can last from hours or days to several months. Further common symptoms include dizziness, fatigue. The cause is unknown. It often starts after an infection, such as mononucleosis. They get around in families, but no genes attributed to ME/CFS have been confirmed. ME/CFS is associated with changes in the nervous and immune system, such as energy. Didn't Jordan Peterson have this? He's lied so much about so many different things that I would never trust Jordan Peterson saying anything ever. So. What's the meme fake disease people claim exists? There's a few of them. The two that we come across the most are, one is chronic Lyme disease and the other is DID is one, yeah. But there's another like, fibromyalgia might be one. Is this a bullshit one? Or people just claim to have it? But I don't know how many actually, I don't know, but don't know, don't care. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think fibromyalgia is, I don't know if that one is fake or not, I don't think so.